Welcome back, everybody, to the Monday show, breaking down CSGO, other esports news. Of course, typically on Mondays, we upload way too much CSGO content. That does continue, so let's get it rolling out there, guys. The first and not so important story, kind of retouching on this, the NAF rumors have been shut down. Liquid will not be making roster changes. Their own GM, Steve, is out and actually coming out, guys, and he's actually confirmed, yes, they will not be making changes, as rumors did soar last week, as a report by Rush B Media. I still think I will stick to this till the day I die, guys. A great article on speculation of a roster move they thought was going to happen. Stewie has now responded. Rush has now responded. Other pro players, the GM of Liquid, have now all denied this. I thought Rush's response was maybe a bit too far. I don't mind when a reporter says if they've cleared all their bases on a potential move to be potentially happening or to be considered, to just talk about it. So the whole community kind of backlashed about this, or at least some people out there. I didn't think it was a big issue. It did cause a great debate out there, as if Liquid has had 2 to 3 bad events. Is that going to be their cause to actually make roster moves after winning 10+ titles in the past year? It seems the answer is no, and at least we now know, guys, Liquid is not planning on making roster changes, but for a time we were debating whether or not it was going to happen. They will continue to make their run, and hopefully back to the era that I saw them having in CSGO. As of right now, they are on a 2 to 3 event streak, depending upon how you look at their major results. They will continue their run, though, with NAF on their roster. But more importantly, the reason why I'm making this video, guys, Fnatic made DreamHack Malmo one of the best tournaments I've seen all year, if not in a very long while. I cannot sell it short. If you guys have not seen all of the results, I really recommend you guys go back, watch at DreamHack Malmo. The crowd over there was incredible, and that home crowd feeling had Fnatic feeling it all. I just could not be more happy for all the roster changes out there. If we look at our results, guys, yes, really bad results for Evil Geniuses, XNRG, and Liquid. They had terrible results for America over there in Sweden, but besides that, you look at your top 6 finishers, 5 of those rosters are new rosters, and that is crazy to see. These teams are actually making some decent changes. I would say about what we expected out of NIP and Mouse Sports. You know, they make a quarterfinal, don't go past that. I'll be waiting for better results from teams like them, but I really cannot tell you guys enough how much fun I had watching CSGO this past weekend, how much fun I had watching the Fnatic run. Now, I didn't see the entire run because it was a brutal, long run, but I could not feel better for people like Flusha, now obviously back in the roster, and especially Golden, who has now proven himself in this roster. They had one of the bigger roster changes of the teams here. They win their first event back with Golden and Flusha, and it actually makes me happy to see a miracle run and some great viewership alongside that, guys. They went to the lower bracket, and what did they do? They take down Tyloo, G2, Furia, NIP. They sweep Astralis, and they take down Vitality. A 6-series streak to take the title at Malmo. You can't write this up. Now, I will say, the one thing here about Vitality, time and time again, constant mistakes have kind of purged this roster of titles they've had the chance at making, and this was a given. This was one of the best shots they had at taking a title and a championship in a bit now, especially with the new shocks on the roster, and they did blow it. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean to them. If you guys watch the series, I think they did blow it. Fnatic, though, with that 6-series streak and taking down Astralis and then Vitality, you can't take away from that. I think it was Vitality's series, but Fnatic, they showed up when the time mattered. They clutched when the time mattered. More eco wins than, holy nuts, I should say wins against eco. It was weird, man. A series of mistakes by Vitality that should have been corrected, and I hope can be in the future. Another second place for Vitality. The first win for Fnatic in almost 2 years. I think it was over 550 days, and I could not be happier. Are they back? I have no idea, but it's so great to see teams like this now beating Astralis. Confused the heck out of me. They show up at majors, they show up at tons of events, they looked great, they looked amazing at this event, I thought, at least early on, and then lose to Fnatic? And we had some great series alongside that. We had a 6 overtime game. This event was crazy. I could not be happier for Fnatic. Are they back? I have no idea. Tons of teams out there now in such close competition and tons of rosters. You got to be questioning their changes and if they can really show up in the future. I'm looking at NIP. I'm looking at Mouse Sports. I'm looking at ENCE, MIBR. Then we have some really great changes on teams like Fnatic and Vitality potentially. So much going on, guys. Could not be happier for Fnatic. They take their first title in a long time at DreamHack DreamHack Malmo. And next up, this is beginning to be an issue. I don't really know how to title this, guys. It's actually rumors now confirmed by the own OpTic coach. I say OpTic because I have no idea what's going on over there. They've now been unsold for over 4 months, or approaching 4 months at least. Their coach Casper has now, of course, confirmed the rumors that Valde, of course, that North roster, Valde will be leaving that roster for apparently the OG team coming back to CSGO we talked about this morning. To fill his holes, or to fill his shoes, will apparently be Cajunb from the OpTic roster, who is not contracted out. Thanks to MSL, apparently this roster, because they can't really be owned by Immortals Gaming Club because they already own MIBR, because of that rule, they are under contract because they had existing contracts. They can't buy players or sign new players to new contracts. That's why Cajunb, when he joined this OpTic roster, he was uncontracted. He's now supposedly going to rejoin that North roster, so congrats to him. I really do think he's now bounced from team to team ever since leaving Cloud9 for a short period, back to OpTic Gaming, now back to North. I still think he's a very solid pickup. I don't think he can really fill the full hole that Valde will leave on the roster, but you have to probably assume, as of right now, being signed and contracted to a North roster is much better than having unnecessary, an unknown future with OpTic Gaming, who, according to MSL, is really struggling right now to retain its players. MSL made it sound like he wanted to leave the organization and be bought out by himself. You know, he has faith in himself. He didn't say in his team. So at this point in time, who knows what's going to happen to these remaining, 4 or so OpTic members. They will have a stand-in player for EPL. So, hopefully they can work it out there. But when it comes to the remaining 4 contracted members for OpTic Gaming, who knows their future, whether OpTic will let them go or some team will buy them. I don't know what's going to happen first, but it's actually become kind of a sad story to see these 4 players kind of just held in the air for the last 4 months, not knowing what their future is. It's really tough to see. Is it time we start a movement, guys? Free OpTic? Can we please start that? Can one person comment, free OpTic, Immortals Gaming Club, let them go, okay? You fully bought them knowing they might be trapped, especially if no teams are going to buy them. Now they're trapped. Free OpTic, let's get it rolling. And very lastly, guys, it makes me just, it's really nice to finally be reporting esports news. It just makes me happy. And that's going to be Kioshima, our boy, our lad, now finally signed to a team. That's going to be Team Heretics, which is a pretty decent roster, I would say, and apparently more changes coming thanks to Nell. Nell apparently just wanting to spill it all, guys. Love the guy. Apparently more changes could be happening. It could actually be Lucky to join this team alongside Devo Duvek. Jinx would be out and Logan would apparently be out as well. And with those changes, I would say, if those changes are true and Kioshima also joins, we already got David P, my boy, on the lineup, I think leading the team as well. I like this team. They definitely compete way better than an LDLC, and they could, and now you guys, G2 fans hate me, all right? I've not been very sound on G2 in the past, especially when it comes to my major pick'ems. If this team is speculated to be those changes and Kioshima also joins, I think they could rival G2 in the future. I really do. G2's making so many changes constantly. I really do think they could eventually rival that of G2, especially in the French/Belgian scene, because I know the roster will be split. Besides the fact, though, Kioshima being signed to this roster for 2 years, could not be happier for the guy. For a long time, we've wondered why the heck people were not signing him and giving him a shot. He now finds that shot, and just very excited to see what he can do for the future. And Heretics, they might be a sleeper. They actually might be a sleeper. I wish them the best of luck going forward. As always, my name is Jake, breaking down gaming, esports, CSGO news here all day long. We got some crazy stories for all of you guys coming very soon. Thank you all very much. I think our first video today, at one point in time, had 360 likes, 0 dislikes. You guys are too nice, all right? I really do appreciate you. I'll see you back here sometime soon. Take care of yourselves, have some energy drinks, and bye-bye.